I bet that you don't want to literally cut off your gains by 33%, by literally one third, right? If that is the case, then let me tell you that by doing cold and heat exposure the wrong way around, you're literally wasting your time in the gym. You're literally just reducing the amount of gains that you're going to do by one third. So if you don't want that, make sure to keep on watching. So maybe you're here because you are training and at the same time you're doing cold and heat exposure. And so you ask yourself, oh, but does it actually affect my gains in a positive or negative way? Or maybe you haven't even tried it out. You are just considering it. And before starting straight away and running into the sauna or jumping into an ice bath, you ask yourself, well, does it actually improve my health, my gains, and does it have some negative or positive effects? Let me tell you that yes, they both have positive and negative effects. But if you can actually do them in the right way, and I will explain you how to do that in this video, you're going to just have the amazing positive effects without having the negative effects of cold and heat exposure. Because as I said, if done in the wrong way, you're literally going to reduce the performance you're going to have in the gym, and you're also at the same time going to cut by one third the gains that you're making, the strength and muscle gains. So imagine literally going to the gym for 1.5 hours and pushing really hard and then realizing that 30 minutes were just for nothing. That is what happens when you approach cold and heat exposure the wrong way around. On the other hand, if you do them right, you're basically going to never be sick again. You're basically going to improve your motivation and literally 2.5 times your dopamine levels, and that means that you're going to have a lot more motivation. It also is going to improve your stress tolerance. It's also going to improve your blood flow. It's going to help your heart. Therefore, more blood is going to go into your muscle, more circulation. Your metabolism is going up. Going to burn more calories. You're going to be more heat and cold resistant. There are so many benefits. Your cardiovascular, the risk of getting cardiovascular disease is going to go down by a lot. And there are really many, many, many crazy benefits of doing cold and heat exposure. But as I said, when you do them the wrong way around, you're going to basically fuck your gains. So we don't want that. So how do we do cold and heat exposure the right way around? Let's first start with cold exposure. The thing is that cold exposure has an amazing anti-inflammatory effect that, if I'm not wrong, lasts for about 6 hours after you've taken the cold shower or you've taken the ice bath. So that means that you're basically going to reduce the inflammation for about 6 hours in your body. Now, that might sound like an amazing thing, but actually when we work out, we want inflammation. That's healthy inflammation because that makes our body restore the muscle and make them grow and become stronger. So basically, if we take a cold ice bath or a cold shower, doesn't really matter, right before or right after a workout, then we're going to reduce the inflammation and therefore cut our gains by literally up to one third. And that's a lot. That's really a lot. You're just wasting one third of the time you spend in the gym for nothing, basically. So we don't want to do that, right? So how can we actually take the amazing benefits, because it really has amazing benefits, of cold exposure without getting the negative sides? We just do it far away from our workouts. So if you normally work out in the morning straight away, then you can take your cold ice bath or your cold shower in the evening. Actually, it's not a smart idea to do it before going to bed, but maybe in the afternoon. And if you, on the other hand, do your workouts in the afternoon, you can take your ice bath like I do every single day in the morning, and that's it. That's all. So that you actually get all the benefits, reduced inflammation, more motivation, no being sick anymore, more happiness, more relaxed. You also improve your blood flow and therefore more nutrients and more oxygen comes to your muscles. And that's going to improve your gain in the long term. And you basically get all the positive effects without having the anti-inflammatory side, which is killing your gains. And by the way, if you want to know everything to build your dream physique, going from diet, the perfect workout split, sleep, and all of the other protocols, I highly recommend you to check out the Spartan Physique Academy. The link is in the description down below. Anyways, let's come to heat exposure. Doesn't really matter how you take your heat exposure, whether it's in a how are those called? One is the Finnish sauna, then there is the other, the wet sauna. I don't know how it's called. Anyways, saunas have another effect than cold exposure, obviously. What they do is that they basically create a lot of blood flow, which is actually a very good thing, right? You want blood flow. Like, imagine taking a workout and then immediately having another boost in blood flow. That is great, but we have to pay attention to what we do couple our heat exposure, because normally with a sauna there goes a cold plunge or a cold shower. So if you do that, if you normally take your sauna and then get into an ice bath, you're going to basically get the anti-inflammatory effects of the ice bath too, and that is going to fuck up your gains. So here again, if you take normally your sauna, oh, the sun, amazing. If you normally take your sauna and then you get into an ice bath, I highly recommend you to not do it, before or right after your workout. Do it in the morning if you work out in the afternoon, or do it in the afternoon if you work out in the morning. Or you do how I do, basically. I take my saunas during rest days. I take my saunas also when I do cardio, because the ice bath basically is that I take after the sauna is reducing my muscle mass and muscle strength gains. But if I'm just doing cardio, I'm basically just training, my muscles too, but mainly my heart. And so that's not a problem. I can take a sauna and an ice bath after that. So summing everything up, for the cold exposure, oh, it's just beautiful. Like, look at this, the sun. Bro, it's just beautiful. Anyways, for the cold exposure, I highly recommend you to take it very far away from your workouts. Ideally, if you work out in the afternoon like I do, you take your ice bath or your cold shower in the morning straight away. For the heat exposure, if you do not take an ice bath or a cold shower right afterwards, which I highly recommend you to not do, because you're basically going to stay with a low blood pressure, which is not very optimal, let's say it in that way. You can take it right after your workout without a cold plunge afterwards, but it's really not recommendable. But if you want to actually take your sauna and then you go in the ice bath, you can do it in the morning. If you train in the afternoon, If you train in the morning, or on rest days, or on days where you have cardio or like mobility or stabilizing, workouts where you don't really go on strength or to build muscle mass, basically. So I really hope this video helped you out, because it took me quite a while to realize all this, because I had to go and search on Instagram, on YouTube. I had to go and search on internet for articles and all of those kinds of things and studies, then watching and listening to podcasts. So I really hope that this video was valuable for you, that it solved you a problem, and that it gets you to get the benefits of cold and heat exposure without getting the negative effects, and without having to go and search for literally hours and hours and hours on end on the internet to get the answers that you wanted to get. So if it actually helped you out, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. As I said, if you want to build your dream physique and have everything you need, check out the first link in the description down below. And yeah, hope to see you in tomorrow's ice bath video, and wish you all the best, bro. Like, how amazing is this, bro? Like, look at the sun. Actually, don't look at it. Ciao.